The containment field flickered once, twice, then died with a sound like breaking glass. Ryan didn't have time to curse before 300 kilograms of apex predator exploded through the failing barrier. The Vexari were not meant to be caged. Evolution had sculpted them into perfect killing machines. 6 limbs ending in razor talons, triple-jointed spines that allowed impossible angles of attack, and a cognitive capacity that made them terrifyingly intelligent. This one, designation Theta-7, had been sedated for transport to the Xenobiology Research Station orbiting Kepler 442b. Someone had miscalculated the dosage. Lockdown, Ryan shouted into his comm, but the creature was already moving. It covered the distance to the observation window in a heartbeat, its obsidian claws leaving deep gouges in the reinforced plating. Maya stumbled backward from her console, her dark eyes wide with the kind of fear that comes from truly understanding what you're facing. The station's alarms shrieked to life, bathing the corridor in pulsing red light. Through the shattered containment bay door, Ryan could see Theta-7's scaled hide rippling with barely contained rage. The Vexari's sensory tendrils flared outward, tasting the air for threats, for prey, for whatever had taken her cubs, because that's what this was about. Not the captivity, not the sedation, not even the fear. When the retrieval team had captured Theta-7, they'd found her guarding a den. Standard protocol demanded the juveniles be secured separately for safety. Standard protocol had just become a death sentence. Where are the cubs? Maya's voice cut through Ryan's panic with unexpected clarity. She was already pulling up schematics on her tablet, her fingers dancing across the screen. Cryo storage, Deck 7. They're fine, sedated, and we need to move them. Now. Maya was already running, not away from the creature tearing through 3-inch titanium alloy, but toward the service elevator. Trust me. Ryan had worked with Maya Chen for 8 months. She was brilliant, stubborn, and possessed an almost supernatural ability to read alien behavior patterns. He'd learned to trust her instincts even when they contradicted every regulation in the colonial xenobiology handbook. The elevator ride took 43 seconds. Each one stretched like an eternity, as the station's structural integrity warnings multiplied. Theta-7 was methodically destroying everything between her and her offspring, guided by instincts millions of years old and a mother's desperate fury. Deck 7's cryo facility was a maze of frost-covered chambers. Maya went straight to Units 15C and 16C, where 2 small Vexari juveniles floated in suspended animation. They looked almost peaceful, their miniature talons curled against their chests, sensory tendrils wrapped tight around their bodies. "Help me with the transport pods," Maya ordered. "Already keying in the wake-up sequence. Are you insane? If we wake them, we're not waking them fully. Just enough that she can sense them. Know they're alive." Maya's hands moved with practiced precision, adjusting atmospheric controls, temperature gradients, pheromone filters. Vexari don't just see their young, Ryan, they feel them. Neural resonance across their sensory spectrum. Right now, all Theta-7 knows is that her cubs are gone. She'll kill everyone on this station to find them. The logic was sound, terrifyingly so. Ryan grabbed the second transport pod and followed Maya back to the elevator. Above them, something massive crashed through multiple decks. The station groaned like a dying beast. They emerged on Deck 3 to find a war zone. Security teams lay scattered like broken dolls, their weapons discharged and useless. Theta-7 had carved a path of systematic destruction toward the cryo facility, leaving nothing but carnage in her wake. Maya stepped into the corridor, holding her transport pod like a shield. "Easy," she whispered, though the translator on her collar would render the words into Vexari pheromone speech. "Easy now. They're safe, look." Theta-7 materialized from the smoke like a nightmare-given form. Her scales were scored with blast marks. One sensory tendril hung limp, and her eyes, those terrible, intelligent eyes, burned with the kind of fury that could reduce worlds to ash. She took one step toward Maya, then another. Ryan's hand went to his sidearm, though he knew it would be useless. But Maya stood her ground, slowly tilting the pod's viewport toward the advancing predator. Through the transparent aluminum, the small form of a Vexari cub was visible, its chest rising and falling in sedated sleep. Theta-7's advance stopped. Her sensory tendrils extended fully, quivering as they analyzed the pheromone signature, the neural resonance, the undeniable proof that her offspring lived. The sound that emerged from the creature wasn't a roar. It was something softer, almost vulnerable, A mother's call. Ryan brought forward the second pod, and Theta 7's entire posture changed. The coiled violence drained away, replaced by something that transcended species. Relief. Maya set down her pod carefully, backing away with slow, deliberate movements. The containment field on Deck 12 is still operational, she said quietly to Ryan. Can you route us there? Already done, Ryan replied, surprised at the steadiness in his own voice. They walked through the destroyed station, 2 humans and a Vexari mother, her cubs floating safely between them. Theta 7 followed at a distance that was neither threatening nor trusting, her eyes never leaving the transport pods. In the intact containment bay, Maya overrode the protocols, creating an environment suited for Vexari young, warmer, darker, with the proper humidity and atmospheric composition. She placed both pods inside, then initiated the wake-up sequence. The cubs stirred, their small forms uncurling. Theta 7 entered the bay without hesitation, gathering her offspring close with surprising gentleness. For just a moment, her gaze met Maya's through the observation window. Understanding passed between predator and human. Not friendship, not trust, but recognition. A mother was a mother, regardless of species. And some humans understood that. Think they'll decommission us for this? Ryan asked as the containment field hummed to life, this time on a frequency that welcomed rather than imprisoned. Maya smiled tiredly. Probably, but they're alive. That's what matters. Below them, Theta 7 curled protectively around her cubs, and the station's alarms finally fell silent.